Hare Krishna, Namaste. In this recording, we will learn some details about the marriage rituals. It is certainly not going to be comprehensive because it has a lot of details which cannot be covered in this session. Also, what is being shared here may vary, depends on the tradition that one follows, based on whether it's northern side, southern side, western or eastern side of India. We will try to cover that which are mostly common. Also, the terms, the names may vary, but the procedures may be same. So as we hear this recording, let's keep those things in mind so that it doesn't create any confusion. Most of the marriage rituals are centered around the bride. As we said earlier, though some of the practices may vary in the other parts of India and among other communities, the general spirit underlying a Vedic wedding is the same. The majority of the mantras recited during a wedding ceremony could be broadly divided into three groups. Number one, for purification of the girl, because the boy's purification ceremony is the Upanayana, the sacred thread ceremony, which would have taken place already before marriage. So, a part of mantras is for purification of the girl and to free from any problems that she may have. The second group of mantras is advice as to what to do and what not to do after marriage. And the third group is prayers for their future welfare. Marriage ceremony for the girl is similar to the Upanayana ceremony for the boy. In case of marriage, the guru is supposed to be the husband himself and the girl is in the place of the student. The understanding is that by now the boy who is getting married went through the purification rites during his Upanayanam, that is sacred thread ceremony, and should have practiced the austerities of a brahmachari and became eligible to be a guru over the years. Nowadays, there is no practice of brahmacharyam, then what to speak of a husband becoming a guru? Well, at least these were the practices in those days. Unless a boy is a qualified brahmachari, he is not considered to be an eligible person for Grahastha ashram. One side note here, when the husband is viewed as guru, it is not to say that he holds a superiority over the girl. It is just a compliment to support each other in several ways. That is why wife is also called as Saha Dharmacharini. She completely supports her husband in all contexts of rituals and behavior. She works for the welfare of overall family. So this purification process for both makes them eligible to attain the Atmajnana and Paramatmajnana. We should also know that the various rituals that falls into the marriage ceremony are classified into two. One is Vaidika, another one is Laukika. Vaidika significance are from the scriptures, whereas Laukika ones comes from the family tradition and practices. They are not part of the scriptures, but which has been followed for many generations. Just to name some Laukika rituals are the engagement, also known as Nichaya Tamboolam. Another one is Janvasa, where the bridegroom is taken in a procession. Again, there are various variation of this practice in various regions of the country. Even for that matter, exchange of garlands is Laukika ritual, which doesn't have mantras. The swing, where the boy and girl are sit together on a wooden plank, is also Laukika ritual, which symbolizes married life. The swing which goes up and down represents that the married life will have ups and downs, but as husband and wife, they reassure that they will stay together, supporting each other in real life, though there may be ups and downs. The chain of the swing is symbolic of karma, which alone is responsible for the ups and downs. The plank of life, which swings and changes, is tightly connected to the top from which the swing hangs. The top, where it is connected, remains stationary and does not change. That top, which holds the swing, is nothing but the absolute truth, Brahman, which supports everything. The exchange of garland, which we mentioned earlier, has this beautiful significance. The garland of flowers, symbolic of vasanas. Here the vasana means the fragrance, the smell, that stands close to the heart of one who wears it. So the boy's garland symbolizes his vasana and the girl's hers vasana. If they stick to each other's vasanas only, that means they are very strict with their habits, their characters, their expectation, etc. Then there will be no room after wedding for any adjustment and understanding. Therefore, by exchange of garlands, each is willing to share and adjust their lifestyle. That's symbolized by exchange of garlands. These were just to give some examples of Laukika rituals, which are not necessarily part of the Vedic mantras. Most of the mantras that's chanted in the marriage are from Rig Veda. The context in the Rig Veda was the marriage between Surya, the daughter of sun god, and the moon god Soma. The same mantras are chanted even today, praying to all the deities for successful wedding. Now let's learn some actual marriage rituals. Again, kindly keep in mind that these rituals may vary based on the region. Irrespective of what the changes are, the purpose to share these details is to understand the gravity of marriage commitment, the purpose of marriage. The first one, Ankurarpanam, meaning seeding. There are 9 different grains, lentils, pulses, grams, etc. are sown in 9 different clay pots with prayers to all respective deities. It is a symbolic ritual which implies that as the seed grow, so may the marriage relation also grow over the years to come. The second ritual is Pratisarabandha, tying of a string around the wrist in order to protect the boy and girl from the influence of any evil forces. The string could be made of gold or silver, but most commonly it is a cotton thread. It is tied with chanting of mantras. This also serves to be an insulate from any impurity that may arise due to some unexpected events that happens in the family, like death or birth. Next is Kanyadhanam, offering the girl. This is the first important ritual in a marriage. In this, the receiver, that is the bridegroom, is considered as Lord Vishnu. The giver offers the girl with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, that is, giving his daughter to the Supreme Lord. Because the bridegroom is considered as Lord Narayana, the girl's father washes his feet and makes the following statement: I offer the girl who is endowed with gold, wearing gold ornaments to you. You are Mahavishnu, for me to attain Brahmaloka. I offer this girl with the witness of all the beings and all the deities, devatas, so that the boy's ancestor will be protected. And the father says to his daughter, my girl, come in front. By offering you, may I attain moksha. All these mantras are recited by the girl's father, and the offering is done symbolically by pouring water, holding a coconut by the father. The bridegroom recites few mantras when he receives the dhana, the girl, seeking the help of the deities to help him in protecting the bride and to treat her properly. Next, Varaprekshanam. The boy will look at the girl and address her with proper attitude. The boy will request the girl to have kind look, to be nice to his siblings, to be a source of auspiciousness, to perform noble actions together, to beget worthy children, and many more. That time the girl may cry due to the thought of being separated or leaving her parents. Since it is considered inauspicious to cry in such a happy occasion, a mantra is chanted requesting the girl not to cry, to think of positive things in her life, to ask for blessings. So the bridegroom recites the mantra and wipes the eyebrows of the bride with a blade of dharba grass, as if he is chasing away all the inauspicious things, defects. Then that dharba grass is thrown behind the bride at the conclusion of the ceremony. Next is Nutana Vastradharanam, wearing new clothes. The mantras are similar to what are recited during the Upanayana ceremony. The girl wears new clothes with prayers to Indra for health, auspiciousness, and noble children. The sun god, water god, and other gods are invoked to purify the bride in preparation for a harmonious married life. Now, after this, the bride and the groom sit on a new mat in front of the fire. Then the bridegroom recites 3 mantras which invoke Soma, Gandharva, and Agni to confer strength, beauty, and youth on the bride. The next step in the marriage ceremony is Mangalya Dharanam, tying an auspicious thread around the neck of the bride by the groom. The thread is called Mangala Sutram. This is considered the second important ritual, but it is not a Vaidika karma. The slokas which is chanted during this time is not a Veda mantra. The slokas says, Mangalyam tantunanena mama jivana hetuna kanthe badnami subhahe sanjeeva sharadha shatam. That is, the bridegroom says, this is a sacred thread. This is essential for my long life. I tie this around your neck, O maiden, having many auspicious attributes. May you live happily for 100 years with me. Usually the boy puts a knot, and the boy's sister or other family members put 2 more knots as this sloka is chanted. After this, Maunji Bandhanam, tying a belt made of munja grass, a type of grass, around the waist of bride by the bridegroom. This ritual is similar to the Upanayana ritual, and this is another important one because it is after this the girl is led to the fire for performing fire-related rituals. The next in sequence is Pani Grahanam. Here, the groom lowers his right palm and encloses it over the right hand of the bride. He covers all the 5 fingers of the right hand of the bride with his right palm, and it recites mantra in praise of devatas like Bhaga, Aryama, Savita, Indra, Agni, Surya, Vayu, and Saraswati. He prays for long life, progeny, prosperity, and harmony with the bride during their married life. The closed fingers of the right hand of the bride represents her heart. That is, it symbolizes the bride surrendering her heart in the hands of the groom during the occasion of marriage. And this is another important ritual because this is the first time that the couple come in physical contact. As we mentioned at the beginning, this has lot more details of how to hold the hands, etc. We will not get into those details here. But the mantra that is chanted here says, "My dear wife, be one who keeps the family under control. Give suggestions to perform noble act." After Pani Grahanam, next the most important ritual in the marriage is Saptapadi, 7 steps. It is said that even during the marriage, if other rituals are compromised, this one must not. This ritual should not be skipped because this is the ritual which confirms the marriage. It is said not by just Kanya Dhanam, not by just Vagdhanam, that is Nichyadartham, one becomes husband. But after Panigraham, only when the 7 steps are done, one becomes a husband. What happens after the 7th step is the girl gives away her gotra where she came from and she adapts her husband's gotra. And during this step, each step has a prayer for ideal marriage. During this ritual, the groom walks with the bride to the right side of the sacred fire. All along, he holds his wife's right hand in his right hand in the way in which he held during the Panigraha ceremony. He stops, then bends down and holds the right toe of his wife with his right hand and helps her take 7 steps around the fire. And at the beginning of each step, he recites a Vedic mantra to invoke the blessings of Mahavishnu. Through these 7 mantras, he prays the Lord to follow in the footsteps of his wife and bless her with necessary things in her life. At the first step, he prays for providing food. Let Vishnu be with you. Then he moves her to the second step and prays for giving physical and mental energy, power. Let Vishnu be with you. Step 3. For the sake of performing various austerities, let Vishnu be with you. Step 4. For the sake of happiness, peace of mind, let Vishnu be with you. Step 5. For the sake of cattle, wealth, prosperity, etc., let Vishnu be with you. That is to bring all the comforts to the family. Step 6. For the sake of the 6 seasons, let Vishnu be with you. And step 7. For the sake of priests to do rituals, let Vishnu be with you. That is to say, his wife, that let you be a warmly welcoming person for saints with great respect to serve them. Then after this Saptapadi, the husband tells his wife, "My dear wife, by taking these 7 steps, you have become my dearest friend. I pledge my unfailing loyalty to you." The relationship between them now is one of mutual trust and friendship, none superior to the other. Both are to be friends, each consulting the other, especially when important decisions are to be made. One other point to be mentioned here is when the wedding sari is gifted by the groom to the bride, there's a mantra which is being chanted, which says, "Even in your absence, the words spoken about you should be the same that are uttered when you are there." The meaning is that usually people criticize us when we are not present in front of them. They talk bad about us when we are away. In front, they glorify us. But what has been said in this mantra is, even you, my wife, not present, whatever the other speaks within our family, my mother, your sister-in-law, should be the same as if you were present in the front. That means there will be no criticism about you, which means you will be lovable by all in my family by your good character and behavior. And the husband concludes by saying few mantras after the Saptapadi that let us stay together for rest of our lives. Let us not separate from each other ever. Let us be of one mind, carrying out our responsibilities as householders, grahasthas. Let us love and cherish each other and enjoy nourishing food and good health. Let us discharge our prescribed Vedic duties to our elders, ancestors, rishis, other creatures and devatas. Let our aspirations be united. I am sky, you are the earth. I am seed, you are the land. I am mind, you are word. I am Sama and you are Rig. In this manner, let's be united together for rest of our life. May you follow me to conceive children and gain worldly as well as spiritual wealth. May all auspiciousness come your way. After this ritual is completed, the next is Vivaha Homa, that is a Pradhana Homam. The couple take their seat on the western side of the sacred fire and conduct the Vivaha Homa. During this fire sacrifice, the bride must place a right hand on her husband's body so that she gets the full benefit of the Homa through the symbolic participation. During this Homa, 16 mantras are recited to the accompaniment of pouring a spoon of clarified butter, that is ghee, at the end of each mantra recitation. These mantras are prayers to Soma, Gandharva, Agni, Indra, Vayu, the Ashwini Kumaras, Savita, Brihaspati, Vishwadeva and Varuna for blessing the marriage and bestow them to have a long wedded life, healthy, wealthy, with children and freedom from all kinds of worries. Few mantras to be noted here is one which says, let there not be any noisy scenes in the house. That means absence of anger, absence of shouting at each other, screaming, raising voice. Let that all be absent in the house. Another one says, lend your crying power to someone else. That is, in that house, in the Grahastha ashram, neither one should be crying for anything. They should be always in joy and happiness. Also, there's one particular mantra, which is a sixth mantra. It says, Dasashyam putran dehi patim ekadasham kriti. Here the boy, the husband, asks Indra to bless the couple with 10 children and requests that he be blessed to become the 11th child of his bride in his old age. After this Vivaha Homa, the Pradhana Homa, the next is Asmarohanam, that is stepping on a stone. Here the husband holds the right toe of his wife and lifts her leg and places it on a flat granite grinding stone. And then the husband recites some Vedic mantras when he places the right foot of his wife on the stone. The grinding stone represents conflicts and hurdles. The couple are asked to be as firm as the stone in their commitment to their marriage and determination to overcome all conflicts and challenges. The meaning of those mantras are, may you stand on this firm stone. May you be rock firm during your stay on this grinding stone. May you stand up to those who oppose you while you carry out your responsibilities as a wife. May you develop tolerance to your enemies and put up a fair fight to defend your rights as the head of the household in a firm manner. In other words, it is said to the wife that you are entering into a new realm which you have not been before. You may expect, actually, you will get some challenges, conflicts, hurdles within the family members, the new family that you're entering into. But be as firm as this stone to stay united with me, to not give up your responsibilities. Be more tolerant to the things that may happen when we live together. At the same time, be as strong as this stone to palatably deal the situation when opposing things comes on your way. You be equal to the steady strength of this grinding stone. After this Asmarohanam, the next is Laja Homa, that is doing a ceremony of Homa with puffed rice. Here, the wife cups her hands and the brothers of the bride fill the cupped hands with puffed rice. Then the husband adds a drop of ghee to the puffed rice and recites 5 Veda mantras. At the end of each of the recitation, the puffed rice is thrown into the sacred fire as Havis offering to Agni. Through these mantras, the wife prays for long life for her husband and for a marriage filled with peace and harmony. At the end of Laja Homa, the husband unites the dharba grass belt around the waist of his wife with another mantra. The husband states that this mantra that he unites his wife and ties her now with the bonds of Varuna and invites her to be a full partner in his life to enjoy the blessings of wedded life. After Laja Homa, the next is Patni Nayanam, that is taking the bride to the husband's house. The husband makes her feel comfortable, assures her of a role as a queen of the family and all its members. There are prayers for a safe journey to the husband's house. Then upon reaching the house, the husband asks her to look at all that she brought with her from her house and all that is in his house with an equal sentiment. In other words, do not give priority over the other. Treat them equally. One may start having some sort of attachment towards those things which was given by their father or mother than what is there in her husband's house. And it is said here, one should not do that. Rather, one should treat both equally with an equal sentiment. The next step is Graha Pravesham, entering into the house, husband's house. Here, the bride enters the house for the first time by placing a right foot, and there is a mantra which is recited during this step. I enter this house with a happy heart. May I give birth to children who observe the path of dharma, righteousness. May this house that I enter today be prosperous forever and never be deficient in food. May this house be populated by people of virtue and pious thoughts. Then a particular homa, Pravesha Homa, is performed, which contains 13 mantras, praying for long life, health, happiness, auspiciousness, children and prosperity and more. Then the husband asks his wife to take the responsibility of the family. Also at the end of this Pravesha Homa, a child is placed on the lap of the bride and she offers a fruit to the child while reciting a prescribed Vedic mantra. Yet another mantra asks the assembled guests to bless the bride and then retire to their own individual homes peacefully. The next event that takes place is Dhruva Arundhati Darshana. This happens in the first evening of the stay in her new home. The couple see the stars Dhruva, that is pole star, and Arundhati. The husband points out the pole star and prays for the strength and stability of the household through a Vedic mantra. Next, the husband points out the Arundhati star to his wife and describes to her how Arundhati was ideal example for her chastity. What we shared here just an outline of what is conducted during the Vedic marriage. Each of the ritual has a deeper meaning as we learned now. The Vedic marriage is very elaborate and it is done in front of hundreds and thousands of people. That is a strong commitment from both husband and wife that they are going to stay together for the rest of their life, and witnessed by these hundreds of peoples and also witnessed by the devatas. The second aspect is to get the blessings from everyone to make a married life successful. So the Vedic marriage is not simply signing a paper to confirm their marriage. It is more than that. It is a serious matter. The husband and wife are committing to stay together irrespective of whatever difference of opinions that they may have in their life. And ultimately, the purpose of marriage is to work together, assist each other to make this very life successful to attain the supreme abode of the Lord. Marriage is a sacred event, and a married life is full of events. Two different poles comes together, working together for the good cause. Work together with great respect, with acceptance of each one's nature. Understand the differences, but work within the given framework, not to see the differences or not to magnify the differences, but to see the commonality, the common interest, and try to develop especially the desire to attain the ultimate destination by staying together, by working together in the highway of family life. We are hoping sharing of this information will benefit those who are married through the Vedic process about their commitments, those who have no idea about marriage but got married, for those who are still trying to figure out why they got married, for those who don't know the value of marriage, for those who always think that they would have been better without getting married, for those who are simply wasting the best opportunity and time of household life, for those who are wrongly think that household life is not a way to attain the Lord, of course, for those who are planning to enter into married life, and for those who are against getting married, and for those who think the family is a burden, children are nuisance, commitment is troublesome. Every person who's getting married or who's married must know the purposes of marriage. Otherwise, yes, the family will be burden, children will be nuisance, and commitment will be troublesome. Loka samastaha sukino bhavantu sarvamangalani santu. May the entire world be happy, bestowed with all auspiciousness. Thank you. Hare Krishna.